Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. So while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathings with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in these ongoing meditation sessions, we mainly focus to develop tranquility state and the Vipassana mind. So, when it comes to tranquility mind, is development of the mind to observe the sensation or the thoughts or bodily posture or even the thoughts or whatever you take as a primary mental object, and you become very limited to only that object, and then you settle down there. So that is what tranquility meditation, you tranquilize the mind. And when you go to the Vipassana meditation, it is another way it called analytical meditation. So you start to analyze and you start to recognize. You recognize what you experience within yourself. So, and at the same time, we hear sometimes silence mind. And when it comes to this Theravada tradition, there is no kind of like the silence mind. And you cannot silence the mind. And then there is another way, sometimes it called no mind state. So there is no way that you can stop thinking pattern. Then who going to stop it? Because you are the very result of the mind. So if you stop thinking pattern, that's mean there is something beyond your mind. But when it comes to the Theravada tradition, that you have to remember, when we practice our Vipassana meditation, we have to go to the very origin, and we always go with the sutras. And we always go with the authentic tradition. If anybody don't like it, it is up to you. But here we are focusing towards the wisdom to gain your own liberation. To gain your own liberation, you cannot use your own thoughts, your own patterns, your own ideas, or your own kind of vision. Why? Because You already, eons by eons in this samsaric journey, that you already came to today. The life that you experience today is the result of your own mental views. So if you had the capability to gain the wisdom or the liberation or the enlightenment, you are not going to experience this life like this. Because the very nature of the mind, whatever you understand, it's going to become your life. So that's why we need the Dharma. So Dharma means here, clearly you have to understand, it is the Buddha's teaching. Not my teachings or not someone else's books or the culture or the tradition or something like that. So as a monk, I am responsible to give the authentic teachings. It's nothing to do with what I think about or kind of, but at the same time, before I give it to you, I have to practice it. Otherwise, I cannot give. So that is why the anusasana means that after I practice, I give it to you. So then when it comes to the mind, so far in my life, I didn't come to a point that there is no way that you can silence the mind. You can stop the mind. You can come to a zone kind of like a no mind zone. And at the same time, not only it is just by my experience, so we use all the Tripitaka and all the Dharma, all the Sutra, and according to that, there is nothing. Even our high priest, and our elder monks, and no one came to that kind of. So then, at the same time, we go to the teachings and look what the teachings say. And once you, even yourself, once you recognize the teachings, then you can understand there is no way they come to a point that you can experience kind of like a no mind, silence mind, empty mind. So then what is that? Because in a very conventional life, that always people use it as a no mind. And there are different meditation techniques. And sometimes when it comes to tranquility meditation, so remember, until you die, your mind not going to stop. There is no way. So maybe that through the science and technology, maybe there is some kind of situation that may can happen to stop your responding situation, but the mind, it's going to be there. So then what is this no mind? What is this? What is this tranquility mind? So this is what, before we go to the practice, you have to be very clear with this. And what is the practice? Why we need to do this? And what is the very nature of the mind? So then it is, you have to remember, it is very clear. There is no way that you come to a point, no thought song. Maybe for somebody, it is a sad news. Maybe it make you, it maybe it is not happy, no, but there's no way. Always the thoughts going to be there. So, but the very nature of the thoughts is this. When you look, when whatever come to your eyes in a very natural way, is your mind going to recognize this. Whatever come to your ear, your mind going to recognize it. Whatever come to your nose going to recognize this, that the mind going to recognize. Whatever come to your tongue, your mind going to recognize this. Whatever come to your body, your mind going to recognize this. Whatever come to your mind as thoughts, your mind going to recognize. So that is the very natural process of the mind. You don't need anything. You don't need to pray. You don't need to follow anything. When you become a human being, you have that natural process. What? Whatever come to your eye, you can see. Whatever come to your ear, you can hear. It's a natural process. So the thing is this, inside that whatever happened with our that perception and the volition, or the your previous thought or the experience and the attention. So the form, feeling, perception, volition, and attention or the recognition. This is the process of the mind. So whatever the feelings arise, and what happened, the natural process is mind can recognize it. But at the same time, what is happening, that your thoughts, that mean your volition, your sanskara, mental formations, so can promote the desire and attachment. And once you have the desire, attachment, and it creates a mental aversion. So when you see something, if your mind able to see it as it is, when you hear something, when the mind able to recognize it as it is, when you smell something, when the mind is able to recognize it as it is, that is what called silence mind. That is the very nature of, you are tuned to the very nature of mind. In your mind, there is no any kind of desire out of what you see. There is no any kind of desire out of what you hear. There is no any kind of desire out of your smell. There is no any kind of desire out of your taste. There is no any kind of desire out of your feelings. There is no any desire out of your thoughts. When there is no desire out of these all the six perceptions, there is no attachment. When there is no attachment, there is no mental aversion. So if you are able to keep like that, so whatever moment by moment you will experience, you don't need any science for that. You don't need any methods for that. You don't need any teachings for that, because that is your natural behavior of the mind. But what we does, why you need to practice? Because knowingly or unknowingly, somewhere in this samsaric journey, we used to develop desire out of what you see. So this is what, when you see this, rather than seeing it, your mind, out of the perception, it start to develop a desire. To develop the desire, you need volitions, or the sanskara, or the mental formations, or your past experience. So then what happens, when something see, out of your seeing, your mind start to develop desire. Out of the desire, attachment come. Out of the attachment, mental aversions arise, like dislike or anything. So in day-to-day life, just imagine, with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, 24/7, when it happens, what you experience? You cannot experience the moment of the existence. So, but remember, it is an inbuilt science in you to experience that. So when the mind, just be with me and just follow the process. When the mind be with whatever that it see with eye, when the mind when become with whatever it hear, when the mind become with whatever smell, when the mind become with whatever you taste, when the mind become tuned to feelings, whatever you feel, when the mind tuned to thoughts, whatever the thoughts arise to you, there is no way to bring something to the middle of that experience. That is where it calls silence mind. Because the mind itself silence. So the busy mind means that beyond your experience, there is something in your mind. So the silence mind means no mind, means empty mind, means you are always tuned to the perception. That's it. You don't go beyond the perception. But the thing is, when the thoughts start to promote the desire, and out of that, the attachment come, and out of that, the, the mental aversions can come. So that is no, now you know what is no mind mean. That doesn't mean there is no, your mind going to disappear or somebody else going to come to the middle and stop you. No. Once your mind start to tune with all the perception, that's no mind. So then what is this samadhi or the tranquility state or the one-pointedness? So now you know the process of the natural process of the mind. Whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whatever the perception, mind start to go with that. So rather than going with this all the six perception, you consciously select one mental object. Maybe the sensation, or maybe you can put a candlelight, or maybe you can put the music, or maybe you can any sensation, that's mean your bodily sensation, or maybe even you can work the mind. And then you, rather than, so the what is the very nature of the mind? It's follow all the perception. So now you come to practice meditation. And in the meditation, we call tranquility meditation. So the tranquility meditation means one-pointedness. So the one-pointedness means rather than going with this all the six perception, you select consciously one perception and stay there, stay there. And then what happened? The mind is able to go here and there, and not only that, and you get the bonus. What is that? Your thoughts can promote any desire, so attachment like that. But now you stop your mind and consciously keep following one perception again and again, again and again, again and again. If your mind go here and there, you bring back again, settle down there. So that is what tranquility meditation. That is what we practice in the beginning. So for that, as a primary mental object, we get the inhalation and exhalation. So when you keep practice, maybe in the beginning, that the duration going to become very short. But if you keep practice little by little, little by little, what will happen? It going to expand the duration. In a certain level, the mind start to naturally tune to that. But it's still that you are become conscious. Why? Because you consciously select that mental object. So that then you, once you start to develop the duration, increase the duration, so in that duration you stay in one rather than jumping to all the six. So that is tranquility meditation. In that step, so whatever the sensation or the whatever the you can you put in front of you, or whatever you hear, or feelings, or the mind, once you start to develop the duration in tranquility state, you start to recognize it very clearly as it is. So if you observe the breathing, now you keep focusing again and again and again and again. Now you recognize what is the breathing. If you put the candlelight in front of you and keep watching, 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 what will happen? You're going to recognize what is this candlelight. It is not just whatever appear to you. So whatever appear to you as things is not the exactly things as it is. Even the people the same. No, it's the people same. Even people can use the same words, but in a different intention. Hiding a gun, you know, maybe you can say, okay, come, I'm going to give you. And then that's mean what? He going to give a bullet. Maybe you want to give some money and as a donation, and maybe you say, okay, come, I'm going to give you. See, the same word, but it's different. So like that, the whatever you see here, it's not the exactly things that whatever come to your eyes. There's something. But tranquility state, what happening? Why you gain a special knowledge to see things as it is? Because in conventional level, our mind that get polluted by our thoughts, promotions, desire, attachment, and mental aversions. Because of that, whatever come to our eyes, we don't see. We see our inner things that promote by our thoughts. So now you come to a point, whatever you see, even the candlelight, the, the sound, or the sensation, or feelings, mind, now you can see things as it is. So that is a different experience. And then once the mind settles down like that way, what will happen? So then we go to the Vipassana level. So what now you got the outside, see the candlelight or whatever, the blue sky or anything to, or the flower or the tree, you got a mental object. Then you see like it's the subject is your intention, and you got something from outside as object. So even the feelings and even the sensation, even the music, it's outside. But when something come to your eye, nose, ear, tongue, the body, and before it touch you, it not belong to you. So after that, outside world means one thing is that before you touch it, it is outside. But once you touch, after the touch, what happening inside your body? Recognizing that is the inside meditation. So observing and recognizing with whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body as perception, and then you observe how it work inside you. When you see something, what happening inside you? When you hear something, what happening inside you? When you smell something, what happening inside you? When you feel something, what's happening inside you? When thoughts come to you, what happening inside you? There's something happens. So recognizing it, observing it, and recognizing it is called Vipassana. So that is the button: form, feeling, perception, volition, and attachment, the attention or the recognition. 5 aggregates. So observing this and recognizing the very nature of it is Vipassana. Then you will come to a point. See, in the tranquility meditation, you saw things as it is, and it is always related to outside. Now you come, what is happening inside? So that what you experience means it is not what is happening outside, because once you come to you, once it touch you, what happening, it start to transform something, and it start to depend according to your mental condition. And maybe you see something and it can become beautiful or ugly or neutral, and according to your volition or the sanskar or formation. So then you cannot say, or whatever you see, it's going to be exactly the same way. Like, so whatever come to you, it's going to filtered by your mind. So that that mechanism, once you recognize that you see always this filtering mechanism inside you is always changing, 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 changing. And once you know that, once you see it, you're done. There is nothing else that you need to recognize. There's nothing else you need to do. There's nothing else you need to search beyond that. Because now you see the whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind as perception, inside you as form, feeling, sensation, and perception, formation, recognition, this always change. In the samsara, this is what happened to you. From here to entire your future journey, this is what you experience. That is what we call life. Say now, silence mind is what? Just go with the rhythm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, perception. Tranquility mind means you select consciously one mental object, and rather than jumping to all six, you keep focus, 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 and you stay with it. And the Vipassana means nothing to do with the outside. You start to observe deeper inside you. And then sometimes people can ask, can we observe inside? How are we going to observe inside? So this is what. First learn to observe this outside. That is what called tranquility meditation. First learn to at least observe rather than unseeing this inside, unseeing this mind. Just can you observe a little bit the feeling, the breathing, that what you feel? Or the sensation that you cannot deny, I don't have any sensation, or kind of like that. It is there is sensation. Can you observe your bodily posture? Forget about unseen mind. So first come to that. What you know, from there reach to what you don't know. So then be settled down there, have a very relaxed, comfortable mind to observe what available. And once you settle down, and then you can go beyond that. But before you reach to that, don't ask, even don't think. Never try to, you cannot think, even never try to even, come closer to that until you come to the point to see what is happening even in the physically, in this with the perception. If you cannot come to that, you will never understand what will happen beyond that. So don't even ask, don't try. So the first, start to find what is available. So what is available, and once you settle down with that, that moment will take you inside. So that is why we practice in the beginning with the tranquility state. And from there, we go to Vipassana. So I hope this will help you to be very clear with you what we practice and where we try to go and how it work. So you need to know that process, because when you practice meditation, you cannot tell why practice meditation, blah, 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 like that. So you need to know very clearly what is the process. So then you can go to the sutras like Anapanasati Sutta and the Vipassana, the Satipatthana Sutta, that is one of the most important sutta. And there are mostly some other sutras talking about the meditation. And then you have to research yourself also little by little. Why? Because sometimes that what maybe what you hear that not going to bring the clarity to yourself. Maybe when you read it, it's going to make you more clear. And for some people, maybe when you practice, it's going to become more clear. So then what we need to do, so there are a lot of people and we don't know personally, we have no opportunities to have a conversation and keep a close person to person practice. So then yourself, if you able to interrogate this all the three methods, it work. Something will work for you. You hearing, so like this, every day we bring some teachings, and at the same time you reading and you practice. There is no way you're going to miss the path. Somehow, if you are honest to yourself, if you truly want to find the wisdom, remember, it is available in this very life. Why? Because it is nothing come from outside. It is your inside process. So that's why always when you practice, you have to give your best for your own practice. So with that, we're going to practice a little bit. Keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line. So your right palm on your left,